Hi everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and I have made a mini album using the Back to School collection from Lori Whitlock. As part of my Paper Stash Smash, I am trying to smash 12 by 12 collections, and I am on a roll, folks. I really am. So I made this mini album. There already is a walkthrough on it. There is a tutorial along with a cutting guide that you can get at the Ko-fi shop, and I've made 3, 4, 5 at this point mini albums using the cutting guide, showing you different ways of using it. Like, you pick and choose your features. You don't need to do it exactly the same way every time. You might like the pocket that's in there and you do every page with a pocket, or you might like the flap and you do every page with a flap. So anyhow, check out those mini albums. There's also a playlist on it. So I made this and I had paper left over. Of course I did. So what I did is, when I make mini albums, a lot of times I will make blank mini albums. So I had this blank mini album in my stash. I'm going to show you what paper I had to start with, and I'm going to attempt to decorate it in as quickly as possible. Do you think I can do it in an hour? Let's see how long it takes me. So let me show you what I have left, and let's get started. Hi everyone. So for this month, I have been doing mini albums 6.5 by 6.5. I have a cutting guide on my Ko-fi shop. It tells you all of the measurements. It gives you pictures of the one baby mini album. Listen, you don't need to print this out if you don't want to. There's 2 pages of that. Well, I guess you want to print that out. But anyhow, so I've been all month trying to use that same cutting guide to make mini albums. Now, I just finished a back to school, what's it called? No, I have it up here. Oh, it is called Back to School by Lori Whitlock. And I finished a mini album. I've already shown it on my channel, so I'll link it, and it's up front, top, and whatever. So you can go and check that out. And I had scraps left. And I was like, all right, I'll move on. But then I went and said, no, my whole idea is to, once I break open a paper pack, to use it. So I will tell you, I did buy a couple extra of these sheets because I love this pattern. Isn't that so cool? Love the colors, love that. So I bought a couple of these, and I have 2 full ones left, which is perfect, so I can use it for the covers. And also, well, let me show you what I have. I had exactly enough for 10 5 7/8 by 5 7/8 papers. I had a couple of extra scraps. I'm not sure what I'll do with those. I had a couple of cut-aparts left, and I had a couple of 4x6. Those are 3x4 or 4x4 cut-aparts. And I had a couple of these cut-aparts. And then I had 2 4x6 pieces. I cut them down to 4x6. So what I'm going to do with these 4x6 cut-aparts is, first of all, I'm going to use this for the cover. It's the best one. I mean, you can use whatever you want. But I'm going to make bigger pockets with these than what's on the cutting guide. So the pockets are going to be the size of this cut apart 4x6. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then these 3x4, 4x4 will go in the pocket. I'll make something with these scraps as well. So what I'm going to need to do first is make pockets. So when you make the mini album, if you use 8.5 by 11 paper like I do, you will have 5 by 8.5 scraps. So I am taking 5 of them. I'm going to cut them down to 7 because my pages are 6 by 6. I'm just going to cut it down to 7. I'm not going to cut it down any further. Take my scoreboard. I'm also sort of trying to beat the clock and see how long it will take me to make a mini album using scraps. It's not going to be a very fancy mini album. It's not going to have very many flaps and folds. But, you know, sometimes you just want something simple. And maybe you're making mini albums for people for Christmas. You know, it's the paper that makes the mini album. Yeah, the flaps and folds are great. And sometimes the way you decorate with the paper is what makes it special. But in this case, it's going to be simple. So I'm just doing 1/2 inch on each of the sides with the long side at the top. Now I know I want to be able to put a 4x6 cut apart, so I am just going to score this at 4 1/4. It's going to be a bigger than usual. Look, that should be 1/2 inch. Wow, my bright is really bright. Let me change that. See if I can do contrast. So we can see my lines. Will that help? Well, you can see my score line. See, it's a little bigger than normal. So anyhow, 4 1/4. I also have my timer set to see what I can get done in 10 minutes. I only have 7 minutes left. I'm mitering on the corners, cutting across the score line created by an X, cutting across the X created by the score lines. I'm not going to have any magnets in this. I'm not going to have any anything. It's just going to be using up the paper. Now, I also will tell you, so I have this blank mini album. When I'm making mini albums these days, I'm not just making one. I'll make 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever it is, just to... I just feel like you can do a lot when you do things assembly line. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so there are, oops, it would help if I took the pin out. 5 pages in the mini album. I am just going to glue the bottom down first. You notice I didn't even burnish on the score lines. I'm telling you, I'm just trying to see how fast I can do this. And I'm cutting corners. Yes, you should take your time and enjoy the process. But, you know, I'm just challenging myself at this point. When I fold, I think, you guys ever watch Mamie Made It? She has a thing about folding and having a bump when you fold. Like when you score, you're going to have a divot. So here it's indented. Here it's the bump is facing up. If you score with the bump, or if you fold with the bump facing up, it creates a teeny little bump inside of the, I mean, teeny tiny. And I just remember Mamie saying, the bump, the bump. She just can't do it that way. To me, you know what? It doesn't bother me. But obviously it bothers her. So, you know, you do you. And it doesn't matter. We can do it whatever way you want to do it. I mean, I guess ultimately it does matter if you don't want that little bump. Reminds me of when my little daughter, she's 32 now, when she was small, putting on socks, and there was that little line on the top of the sock. The line. Okay, I was just making little chit-chat. One thing I won't cut corners on is adding, and I should I should use Scotch tape, but I don't have any Scotch tape. Well, I do, but it's cheap stuff. I don't think it even was from the dollar store. This one's too big. I'm going to have to cut that down. You know, I probably don't need to do this because usually I'll do this if I know my paper won't go down to the bottom of the pocket. And in this case it will. So you know what? I'm done. All right, now I'll glue the sides down and then I'll be burnishing at the same time. There we go. I have 2 minutes left. I hope I can at least get these down. I should be able to with my 2 minutes left. And then I'll start cutting paper for the cover. Anyone out there do craft fairs? So this would be a great mini album for craft fairs because it would go fast. Okay, there we are with that. So the album cover is 6.5 by 6.5. So I will do 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. Since I have just this, if I made them 6 by putting an extra border on it, then I could get 4 out of here. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. We're trying to go fast, and if I put a border like a red mat or something like that, that would just take extra time. I'm trying to speed things up. So there, 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. One of these pieces I can use as the spine piece, and the spine again is 2 inches, so we'll cut this at 2. Alright, I have these scraps left and I have these left. So what I'm going to do is cut this down to 6 3/8. And what I can do, I'll let me cut that down. So for the back cover and maybe the inside cover, I'll put this down and take scrap and this is 3 5/8. So if I do 1 3/4, so for the back cover I'll do this plus this, and then I do still have the sticker sheet And on the sticker sheet are a couple of borders, like the ruler and this, and I'll just put that there. I'll do that both on the well, I'll do it on the back cover. The inside front cover, inside back cover, I'm going to do something different. I have to figure that out. All right, I'm going to start gluing. So by taking the scrap, which the back side, of course, had no big pattern on it, I was able to flip it. Oops, I should have done it the other way. And you could use tape if you don't want to use wet glue. I'm actually going to lift this up. There we go. I like to put a lot of glue around the edge when I'm doing the spine. And you could ink the edges if you wanted to. Again, I'm just trying to do fast and simple, just to see how quickly I can get a book done in case you wanted to do craft fairs. All right, I'm not going to do the, whoops, I'm not going to do the inside front cover yet. I am going to do the pockets. Okay, so these are 4x6 and the page is 4x6, so I need to cut them down. So I'm going to cut them down to 5 7/8. And I just cut it down. I didn't worry about making sure the sentiment or whatever was even on here. I mean, I would have cut 1/8 of an inch from each side if I was worried, but it wasn't. Oh, let's put this at the end. So I'm going to glue these down first, and then I'll go through with my papers and try to figure out what paper looks good on what page. So I'll intersperse this with one that doesn't have, isn't a true cut apart. Oops. School rules. And I can add stickers. I have some stickers left. Not a heck of a lot, but I can add stickers to these pages. Okay. Probably do that. I'll do that for the inside front cover. you can put photo mats, just cut white or black and white photo mats on like that page. All right, so I have this here, so I'm probably going to put that opposite that. I've got green here. I like that. And maybe this will go in the pocket. What do you think about that? I like that. I know I have one with red. Oh, this is red. So I might do red there. Or should I do the wood shape? I'll do the wood here. And the red there. Now I could have done the wood over here, so I can always change it around. I think I will do wood there and glue here. Glue and pencils, and I have a sticker of the scissors that I'll put here. I'm not sure. All right, here. I could do this one because it matches with that. That page is done. Back of this. Well, some of these. And I have this scrap too. I could do that. So then I'll have an extra piece left over. How about if I do that there and that there? Sorry, I haven't been in. Yeah, that'll work. And then for the back cover, I'll do the same thing I did on the back. Maybe I'll do it this way. No, I'll stick with this. Or like this. Oh, I can't do it that way. All right, we'll just do it the same as what we have on the back cover. And that there. I mean, I love that print, so I'm okay with that. And then I have this left over. I can't use this for here because this is not cut. This is 6. Can I put that there? Oh well, I'm just going to start gluing things down now. So like this, I'm going to lift out. Go around the top perimeter and there. It's not going because it's getting hung up on there, so I'll put in my bone folder and that'll get it over that hump. There we go. I'm at 9 minutes. I was hoping this part would be done in 10. But it takes what it takes. It's because I was indecisive with a couple of the pages. There was glue. And there's no need for in my opinion, see, that's hung up there. There's no need to put glue on the bottom of this piece, because where's it going to go? It's not going to go anywhere. This is a little smaller than what it should be. Now I did put glue around the perimeter of this because it doesn't go to the bottom. I had tape in here, so this one went all the way down easy. Love this. Don't you like the colors? This was the paper that had there were 2-inch border strips on my other album. I utilized them, but I'm not going to utilize them here because I utilized the 2-inch on the pockets. The pockets were 2 inches. I thought I had tape on this one. Why is it not going in? Maybe it's cut too long. I'm going to cut it down. Now you see what I'm saying? That on this side, if I do this, oh, this is for this page. Oh well, I'm just going to glue it down and not worry about it. Now, of course, if you're starting with a fresh 12 by 12 collection, I mean, this is what I had, the scraps I had left. But if you don't have to worry about it, then you've got a lot more choices that I did not have. Like, you wouldn't repeat this pattern as many times as I did. All right. I mean, so that part's done. Let's look at what we have. All right, so this is going to go to decorate this. What I'm going to do is fussy cut around that. How will that look? Well, if I have to, I'll border it on black cardstock. But I hope I don't have to. Why don't I not want to? Because it's just one more step. It's not a big deal, though. How long has this taken me? Less than a minute to cut. I always don't look forward to fussy cutting, but then you do it and you're done. You're like, wow, why did I put that off for 10 minutes? I could have had it done. There's legs on this clock. You know what? I'm cutting them off. Yeah, that'll look okay. I don't think I need to cut black. I could cut a piece of white cardstock, put it on white, and then fussy cut the white around it, but it's okay. I think that came out all right. And I have some stickers. I might put something on the bottom. All right, so I have these. Now, the pocket is 4 inches. These are 4 inches. They might get lost. But I don't know what else I can do at this point. I could always put them on some white cardstock. Oh, I need to do this. All right, so taking my cutting, all right, I'm going to cut this. These are 2 stickers. I'm going to cut it to 6 3/8. And which one do I want here? I just feel like that finishes off a little bit. Don't you think so? And then here, do that. And what do I have for here? Just laying it down. I'm not sticking it yet because I might change my mind. So I've got school rules. I've got the scissors here. I've got backpacks. I have scissors. Which ties it into that. Don't have anything to do. Gonna put a class act here. Follow your dreams. Going to put that there. School days won't really show because it's black and that's a background. Let's do I love my teacher. Now you could put you know, the powder down on that. Tassel's worth the hassle. There's a graduation cap there. We'll put this here. And graduation down here. Oh, the places you will go. I have a follow your dreams, classmates, school days. I like classmates because it matches the teal color. We'll do classmates. And we'll add the little glasses there. And so I got this. And this is what I have left. I got nothing. I'm going to leave that blank. School days are here. School days. I would love to put that here, but it won't show because that's a black background. I could always cut this piece that says back to school, but it's too big. Back to the books. I've got this glue. Do I want the glue here? Because it's got the glue there. I'm putting the glue there. I'm covering up the palette and the paintbrush a little, but that's okay. You know what? And that's it. I have a couple more pieces of paper. Crushing this school thing. So I can take these and use them as photo mats and put them in the pocket. So these are 5.5, which will fit in our 6-inch pocket. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. I'm going to cut it to 5 3/8. And I'll do that with these. I can do 5.5, 5 3/8. I'll just I am going to throw these out. I know, sacrilege, but I am. I mean, I could cut them and make a bookmark. I'll save them if I feel like doing that. I will. And then again, I have some of the extra photo mats here. Guess I should have looked at the size of this. I'm actually going to use this on the other books. I'm taking out fresh paper. But if you've only made one, then don't worry about it. can make tags out of those. And because everything is so square, yes, I'm going to take time and round the corners. Will this fit on here? Yeah. Very teeny matte margin. I guesstimated cutting. You should never guesstimate cutting. That could go. Let's put that one in here. I'll make my matte margins a little more appropriate. See, that's good. And you could put another, do we want that? Yeah, because I don't have those anywhere else. You could put a piece of cardstock on the back. Just have it the same measurement as this. I just like that color there. You know, sometimes it could take me a full day to decorate a book. Sometimes it could take even longer. You know, it depends on how many flaps there are, how intricate the pattern of the paper is. Uh-oh. So that's going to go that way. I don't like it, so I'm going to let the green side show. Because it's not square, and I want it to fit in the paper, in the page. I guess I'll just do that. No. This one will work. And since I've got those matted, I might as well mat these cut aparts too. And something else. So this book has hidden pocket pages. Of course, I don't have any paper left. I guess what I could have done is these little strips I could take and put on the edge of the paper. But I'm not going to. I'm keeping it simple. All right, let me find, are these big enough? This is 3 inches. I'm going to cut this down and use that scrap of paper. It's 3 by 5.5. Excuse me. All right, I have, let's see. This too. I have 1, 2, 3 3 by 4 cut aparts. This is smaller. This is 3 3/4 by 4, and I have a 4 by 4. All right, 3 3 by 4s. That is for the 4 by 4. And that is for the 3 3/4 by 4. You could turn it over if you wanted to. If you don't want to you have the sentiment or the cut apart. Like I'm crushing this school thing. Or that so many books, so little time. You might have somebody who's not a reader. All right, let us. Actually, I'll put this one here because that's brighter and it'll show up. I love school. School rules can go in the beginning. So many books, so little time. We've got books there. Oh, the places you'll go. And that. And that is it. That is super fast, super easy, 6.5 by 6.5 mini album with 6 by 6 pages. Great way of doing this for craft fairs if you need to make albums. I'm showing you all the scraps I have left. Okay, that's it. And the stickers. That's it. I might go around and see what else I could do with the stickers, put them on the cut aparts. But otherwise, I declare this paper pad completely smashed. That's what I have to show you. Thank you for joining along in Smash Your... You know what? I'm sorry. Here's a walkthrough. Here's the front cover. Inside cover, you could put photo mats. Page 1, 2. There's 2 photo mats in there. The back of page 2, front of page 3, back of page 3, front of page 4, back of page 4, front of page 5. I mean, you could just glue that on there if you wanted to, that kind of thing. Back of page 5, back inside cover, spine, and you know what? Believe and achieve. There we go. Finish that off. Okay, that's what I have to show you today. Thank you so much for joining along. I'm happy to announce that was 51 minutes. It took me less than 50 minutes to decorate the mini album. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all those YouTube things. It really does help me out more than you know. Thanks for watching. Have a fabulous day.